head, and there he goes. Abyss gonna clean him up.
Olaf goes down. Everyone's just gonna line up here for Lazzy. He's gonna find himself the Quadra. Give it to him. Pentakill.
Priestley with the quad feed.
Gets the ace. Available, just spin to win all over.
That game was insane.
Hello everybody and welcome to Saints Gaming CSGO. My name is Deprive or Jackson, joined alongside Shaddy, Zeddy, Hannah. Shaddy, how you thinking about this game? How do you think going forward about this one? I'm very, very excited for this one.
Yeah, me too. Daniel's got me all confused. I'm all disoriented. I'm on the left and I'm usually on the right, so I had to take a sec to find myself. But we're all good. We're all excited. We're all happy. This is supposed to be one of the most, if not the most important game for the St. Clair CSGO team. Apparently this game, I was hearing from Daniel, Jackson, maybe you can elaborate a little bit, but this game is going to make or break our playoff run.
Yeah, for sure. So apparently they don't really know yet if it is top 24, top 16. Chris, one of the managers for St. Clair, he was looking a little bit into it, but it's kind of up in the air. It's to be decided a little bit still. So overall, I mean, even if the St. Clair wins this one, they're going to be making playoffs, whether it's 16 or 24. If they lose this one, they won't be making it, whether it's 16 or 24, no matter what the case is. Must-win game if they want to go to playoffs, and it's not going to be an easy one. They are facing Kansas State JV. This is their JV squad. However, very good squad. They're also 5-4, but they have a better buckle score, putting them about 5 places above St. Clair right now because they have faced harder teams. So overall, for St. Clair, I mean, yes, it looks like a fairly even matchup, but you have to remember, St. Clair has gotten 2 of their wins from forfeit wins, and that makes things a little bit scary.
Absolutely. Those victories, it's not just about how many games you win, but also who you win against, and that's really going to come into play here tonight. Now, thankfully for the St. Clair team, it doesn't really matter how hard or badly they win this one as long as they get the dub. That's all they need to make it into playoffs. It's not really about how clean that victory is. So, there's a little bit of room for experimentation. You said this was going to be a tough game. They can take that space, try things out in some earlier rounds, get settled, get into their rhythm. And as long as we come away with that victory, that's going to be carrying us on through the league, which is really all we want. We want to see our team go as far as it can go. And if we can make it through playoffs, that's the best situation possible. I did hear, however, that things have been a little rough, with this March break. With reading week, it's been hard for players to kind of get practice. So I'm hoping that they're going to be able to find that time to, get settled and get really prepped up before today's game. We don't want to have any external circumstances affecting the outcome of this match.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree with that one. One of the big things that will be difficult is the lack of practice going into this one, especially a big update that we have going into this matchup is that Chance will be benched and be covering out is Bobby. So Bobby now going to be replacing Chance, and that's going to change things drastically. And for them not to really have a whole lot of practice with Bobby in the roster yet, it's quite scary. So overall, starting lineup for today, Stefano, Abyss, Tyler, Moz, and Unicorn Love. So really excited to get things underway. It looks like St. Clair will be starting on the CT side of things here on Inferno. Let's see how things play out.
Pretty slow start to the round. Both teams trying to scope things out, get themselves oriented, figure things out. But the nice 1v1 pistol kill from Twigs is going to lead things off on the side of KSU. And while things are getting underway here, let's meet the opponents today. On the side of KSU, we have Answer, PS, or Dragons PS, Buttermilk CS, Twigs, and Balin P. We don't know a whole lot about these guys. We just know that they've been doing pretty well. Similar record to our team, of course. So pretty even match, as you were saying before we got started on this. But KSU is shutting that down pretty quick, getting a nice player advantage here. They're going to actually win off on the pistol round with a 3-man up. That's a pretty convincing start to the game. For two teams that coming into this looked like it was going to be neck and neck the whole time. It's a pretty solid start for Kansas State.
Yeah, well, Abyss is going to find 2 kills there. And, you are saying it. Yes, it may look neck and neck just from stats-wise, but it is pretty deceiving because, St. Clair, they do have those 2 forfeit wins. St. Clair is one of the lowest buckle scores across all teams, buckle scores being who the opponents you face and the difficulty of them. And I mean, if you look at things, Kansas State JV, they have one of the highest buckle scores. So overall, yes, you could say this is a very even matchup, but in my personal opinion, Kansas State JV, definitely a favorite here in this one, especially after winning that pistol round on the T side. Stefano gonna fall 4v3 here early for Kansas State JV. St. Clair can't do a whole lot to really get things going, and Abyss really going to be one of the only players who's able to find a whole lot right now. So quite worrisome as Kansas State JV is looking to take an early 2-0 lead.
Definitely interesting seeing Abyss top fragging for St. Clair. You know, we usually see him show up here and there in some of these rounds. He'll find these clutch plays, and, you know, that's kind of what we count on him for. But very rarely do we ever count on Abyss to be your top fragger. And, you know, that's kind of the situation we found ourselves in, at least in this early round here. Kansas State, you know, they've spent some money. They're on some pretty decent buys here now. They've got a nice tempo lead playing into St. Clair. You know, it's these kind of plays in this early round tempo that you typically don't see teams recover from this, at least for the first couple rounds or a handful of rounds. So St. Clair's really fighting an uphill battle here, at least for the first little while they get settled and get that economy going.
Yeah, but Moz getting in a nice kill there on answer. He's going to fall. That's going to be Tyler finding one as well. Twigs will be there for the trade, so that's a 4v3 player advantage for St. Clair. Exactly what you do like to see. Moz going to find his second there, going to clean up Twigs. Now a 4v2. Fallen, he's going to come through, and he's going to find one on a Stefano. Overall, 3v2 here now. Dragons and Fallen, sorry. They're going to be the last players alive. What will go down? Moz going to get a 3K. So Moz having a great round here so far. Leaves everything up to Ballin and the 1v3 of this Galil. Gonna have a tall task ahead of him, and Unicorn left searches for it. Will not connect though, but they get a lot of intel, and Ballin is now weak. So Abyss and Moz should have no worries cleaning this one up.
Pulled a miraculously impressive comeback here on this round. You know, coming up with lower buys, but they still managed to get a lot of value out of their weapon purchases. And Moz really coming in clutch with the 3K here. That's going to be the last kill going Abyss's way to close out the round. So St. Clair finally getting themselves on the board here now, 1 and 2. You know, a little bit more money in the pocket. We'll see how they end up spending. And Jackson, you know, I'm still learning. I'm not going to lie. I've been casting these games with you a couple of times. I'd say I'm getting a little bit more confident with things, but definitely going to need to rely on you here for some intel on these weapon purchases. Walk me through this economization strategy from St. Clair.
Yeah, so St. Clair is pretty much in a position where you always kind of like force fight after you win a round. You never save after a round win. So St. Clair, they're able to afford 3 rifles, armor, defuse kits, some util. So overall, you will see them bring out 3 M4s. But they also do have 2 MP9s. I'm not exactly sure. Stefano could have bought a little bit of a better gun. Or somebody could have bought, I don't really know exactly about there, but I think Stefano could have got a little bit better of a weapon, like a Galil. But overall, he is going to opt for the MP9. He might just be more comfortable with it. So overall, yeah, 3 rifles, 2 SMGs there. And from the other side of Kansas State JV, 4 AKs and a MAC-10. So, you know, weaponry-wise, Kansas State JV, they have the upper hand here, just weaponry-wise, with that being 4 rifles compared to the 3 from the side of St. Clair. Really excited to see how things play out, but Kansas State, they are on the disadvantaged side, kind of, really, right? Like, St. Clair is on the preferred side right now, which could really cause some disruption for Kansas State JV, especially with Moz finding an early kill, and he does exactly what he should. Falls off, and he doesn't need to get over-aggressive. Stefano, he will find with the MP9 as well. So now a 5v3, excellent start from St. Clair. Now just need to execute on it.
Number advantage obviously is going to blend itself hugely in these gunfights, being able to cover for those weaknesses, find those refrags. And as I say that, KSU with the 3K back to back to back, that's going to be Tyler, Stefano, and Moz all dropping right one after another. Abyss is going to kick the bucket as well as Buttermilk finds that pick onto him. It's going to be just Unicorn left on the field in the 1 versus 3 situation. You know, he does have that rifle. He's in a pretty decent situation weapon-wise, but, you know, you're 1 versus 3 against 3 AKs, like you were saying, like that's a huge artillery advantage on the side of KSU, and they've got the really nice coverage position here. Actually, Unicorn is going to find that first pick relatively unharmed, but now KSU is in full knowledge of his position, and that's going to mean that KSU is going to walk away with the round win here.
For sure, and that's going to put them up 3-1. So St. Clair, you will most likely see a light buy here from them. Just a few pistols, maybe an SMG, not a whole lot. So yeah, if you look at this here, you're going to just see a few pistols being bought. Nothing really out of the ordinary there for St. Clair. And they're going to save around 2,000, a little bit more than that in their bank. So they can buy going into next game. And overall, Kansas State JV, they're going to keep up their buy that they have been using for these past few rounds. 4 AKs and a UMP, Kansas State JV should have absolutely no problems winning this round, unless St. Clair's D-Goals, being Moz, Tyler, and Abyss, can absolutely pop off and find some heads. Moz looks for an early pick there, but that will be Buttermilk able to shut him down.
St. Clair, you know, having a lot of discipline going into the pistol round. We've seen them sometimes, even when they're at a deficit, trying to force buy, you know, some pretty inexpensive weapons and end up just killing their economy more and more. But finally, you know, really taking that step back, slowing things down, and able to find at least 1 kill off on the pistol round. Not too bad of a start here. Now 3 versus 4 situation. Buttermilk less than half health remaining in this round, so pretty decent odds for St. Clair considering the disadvantage that they're already in. Unicorn getting himself a nice high flank. He's going to have vision of KSU as they turn this corner here. This could be a little dangerous, but as I say that, actually dropping, going to put himself in a little bit closer on that ground level, right outside the fountain there, waiting for KSU to round this corner here, but they have pretty good intel on this. Valen P calling that out, is going to find the pickup off the Unicorn. He got scouted out right away, must have heard his footsteps or something. Those sound cues, really lending themselves to this play. And that's going to be the plant for KSU as Answer finds the pick onto Tyler in the back line. And that's going to be 4-1 now for KSU.
Yeah, and now St. Clair, they do have the money to buy, so this is really where you look for them to bounce back on things, right? This is really where they do need to find a round. You're going to see Unicorn Love with the AUG, the other 4s with M4. So this is going to be St. Clair's best buy that they kind of really had throughout this game so far. So this is really where you want to see St. Clair capitalize on that. They are on the better side. They have full weaponry now. This is really where they need to win around Moz. He does a great job with this M4. He's been playing phenomenal for all game so far. That's going to be another pick for him and open things up to a 5v4. St. Clair, you got to capitalize on the weaponry advantage and the 5v4 player advantage right now. Let's see what they can do. I mean, overall, you just got to really just keep holding your positions and make sure the Kansas State JV doesn't get behind enemy lines.
Really good seeing Moz finally starting to show up on the kill feed here, picking up some nice early pickoffs for his team. They're really, every time they've won a round, it's usually been because Moz had an incredible start to the round here, and now Answer going to walk right through the smoke. Is going to get taken down by Abyss in the 1v1. Unicorn finding the pick onto Dragons on the side. However, the refrag coming out from Buttermilk is going to drop Unicorn as Moz gets the counter kill back onto him. Now a 4 versus 1 situation, and Buttermilk is barely hanging on. That should be the round for St. Clair. Exactly like you said, Jackson, they got this nice buy. They got this weaponry advantage. They needed to make something out of it, and I think we can agree St. Clair delivered on that round, finding themselves the win, keeping that economy strong. This is a good situation for St. Clair. What's the next move here coming out of this spot?
Yeah, well, you know what? They're in a very good buy here. They have to win one more round, force Kansas State JV onto a save, and then win that round. So if they win this round, Kansas State JV will not have money to buy next round. They're just going to be buying pistols as a result, which could really swing things in St. Clair's favor. So if they win this round, they have a very, very good chance of tying this game up. And that's exactly what you got to do if you're St. Clair, right? I mean, every time that they are on a buy like this, Moz and Abyss have been playing quite well. They each have 4-3 kills, and Moz, he has 2 3Ks already. So great stuff there from him. And I really just want to see St. Clair continue to capitalize with Abyss and Moz going the extra mile kind of really, and just doing a phenomenal plays. And that's what I'm really looking for right now. Really kind of maybe picking up the slack a little bit for Tyler, Stefano, and Unicorn Love.
Speaking of picking up the slack, there's a lot of players on this team that we usually see niche performances from them. They're all good in very specific situations. Moz, usually top fragging for his team. Tyler's usually close behind, but unfortunately today, just hasn't been able to find his groove. Moz being the first to drop in this round is going to spell doom for St. Clair, but Stefano with the 1 versus 2 barely escaping that play. That's going to be absolutely massive as St. Clair evens out the numbers advantage. It's going to be a 4 versus 3 now with Stefano. Still able to fight. Just got to keep his distance. Make sure he doesn't get spotted out too quickly, because he will drop very, very fast if they get that first jump on him. So Abyss, it really comes down to them and their ability to perform in this round. Stefano does have the flank here. He's really hiding out, camping out, but that's going to be the counter kill. An incredible performance from Stefano, finding a 3K of his own as Tyler picks up the 2K on the side. This is exactly what I wanted to see. I just got done, gassing Tyler a little bit, and he pops off with the 2K to close out the round. That's perfect. But you couldn't ask for more than that.
Yeah, great stuff there from Stefano. I mean, he's been playing great this game so far. And, you typically don't really see him come out here and kind of excel like the rest of the squad. So to get a 3K from him there, excellent stuff overall. Now that's going to force Kansas State JV on the pistol round, like I was saying, which could really result in St. Clair taking a good round here. Abyss, going to find an early one, going to find an early second. Great start there from him. He's just going to shoot the pistol through the smoke a little bit. He's going to tag some players down. Moz finds one as well. Unicorn Love going to find one as well. So that's going to be Buttermilk finally to get the refrag. But now he gets himself in a 1v4. And Stefano will be here and ready to clean things up. St. Clair, tie game 4-4. And they are in fairly good position now. And look at their money there, Zeddy. They are starting to rack in the dollar bills. And they are starting to build an economy for themselves.
That's great to see. I'm not going to lie. These last couple of times I've been on cast, it's looked kind of rough being honest, looking at the way that St. Clair approaches these points. But this is really some excellent form that we're seeing from this team. Everyone's covering each other's angles. We talk about that buddy system a lot, being able to pick up that refrag if one of your teammates does get jumped on, does get caught out fairly early. And St. Clair's doing a great job of not only protecting each other on these points, but really just coordinating attacks and communicating that intel very effectively. That's
just like that.
Kill. Exactly. These combo kills, you can see right there in the kill feed, Abyss and Unicorn contributing to that kill. Very rarely are we seeing solo kills in this game. Everybody's working together to get these kills. And now a 5 versus 2 situation for St. Clair when they're already so far ahead is exactly what you want to see. Just accelerating that tempo. Don't let the enemy team, get a foothold back on this game. Keep things going.
St. Clair has so much map control.
It's crazy. Like, you can't, it's so hard for KSU to move around the map right now. Just take a look at that mini map, how much space they're covering here. They're really controlling their zones on every bomb sites. And that's going to be
4K.
The 5-0 with Abyss picking up the 4K. Like, this is an excellent performance from St. Clair.
This is exactly what I was talking about with the Abyss and Moz. Right now, you're going to see Kansas State JV timeout. No surprise there. They took an early 4-1 lead, and St. Clair has bounced back with 4 rounds unanswered, completely shutting down that Kansas State JV squad. Great stuff there from St. Clair, and specifically Abyss and Moz. They're making star player plays right now, and that's what they have to do as the veterans on this roster, right? They have to be kind of orchestrating these refrags, the team kills, like working together more as a team, and they're doing a great job of executing that right now. You can definitely tell the communication looks good from the side of St. Clair. Now, can they keep things up and can they move forward and continue to string rounds together? We will find out here shortly.
Closer and closer to halftime. St. Clair finally taking the round lead. Not something we see very often. It's a really good advantage to have in this situation, especially when your econ is this heavy. You're sitting on quite a bit of gold. You don't really need to go too crazy on these buy rounds. You can preserve your weapon advantage and just try to get yourself set up. Actually, that it looked like Tyler nearly got caught out there, but manages to get the smoke up above and scope things out on KSU. That is going to be 2 kills now going away to St. Clair, trading 2 for 1. Valen barely surviving on that play here, but Buttermilk and Dragons getting an absolutely beautiful angle on that play. They are going to find some great shots there now as Ballin goes for the plant that is going to be successful. Now St. Clair, Abyss, and Unicorn left. We've seen Abyss pop off in these situations. It's about time to get that going again as that Molotov really protects his entrance from that point. It's going to be very difficult for him to attack. Now Abyss trying to break through the smoke, but Unicorn is going to get blown up on the side. It's Abyss in a 1 versus 3 situation, fighting through smokes, fighting through mollies. He's got some artillery of his own. He's going to try to make his way into this point here, but he's not really looking in the best position, trying to cover his flanks. He doesn't really have a read on where the enemy is, but it's going to be 1 pick going his way. Unfortunately, through the smoke, Ballin P is going to find the pickup, and that means Kansas State is going to even out this round score 5-5, about 5 rounds out of halftime.
Yeah, and you know what? Kansas State, they didn't have a great buy there. So for them to actually pull off a round win, very good stuff from them. That's exactly what they needed. And, really not anticipating that from the side of Kansas State JV, but they did pull things off, like I was saying. So 5-5 game here. This matchup is neck and neck. Both teams fighting for a playoff spot. This one is coming down to the wire, and it is looking very, very scary. Abyss, now we're going to be pulling out the op, and I am ready to see these plays go down. What will he be able to find with that? Will he be able to find any early picks and really open up the round? He spent 10.3K this round, so they are really going all out, and they are really relying on this one.
A pretty big investment to make, especially when the game's at an even state. Really shows how dedicated St. Clair is to keeping this victory alive, especially going into halftime with that round advantage. As you mentioned, CT advantage can be a factor to consider when you're considering the state of the game. And St. Clair, going even right now from CT, it's decent, but it's not ideal necessarily. Abyss is going to get popped quite early in the round. He still has his weapon. He's still hanging on, but he is going to get scoped out with the op. He's going to have to take some time to regroup and reposition as Tyler holding this flank here, just doing what he can to get himself set up and find that angle on the side. Now Ballin P kind of zoned off from the rest of his team, not really approaching anybody on point there, as Unicorn has vision on KSU, is going to try to find his way closer to that B point there, holding onto that angle. Now Stefano right around the corner here in that 1v1 scenario. It's such an awkward situation when you're at a standstill like this. Everyone knows where everybody is, but nobody wants to make the first jump. It's quite, stressful to play and to watch as well. As soon as you make that round around that corner, you're going to get popped.
Yeah, for sure. So, still a 4v5, and it looks like the B hit is going to be coming out from Kansas State JV. You see about 3 players kind of focusing around Banana, and you do still have 1 person sitting around top apps, though, ready to just completely flank this side of St. Clair once this push goes down. But, you know, it looks like Kansas State JV, they're not really too committed on it yet. They have 4 players sitting there now, but they haven't really done anything with it. So Tyler actually going to take out the only player near A with the nade, and that's going to result in the rest 4 of them actually hitting this site. So that nade is actually going to do a little bit of work from Abyss. This bomb is going planted already, though. Abyss trying to find something through the smoke. Nothing really connecting for him, though, making things a little difficult. And he's tagged down to 15, so weak already. Buttermilk does find Unicorn. Ball in, finds Stefano, and that is now a 2v4. And if you're Abyss here, like, you really want to save, but he's just in such a bad position where he can't really save. They will fall.
It's such an unfortunate situation for St. Clair, especially with Abyss committing that much money in that round, really trying to make the most of that round as he could. You know, picking up the off and not able to find a single kill with it is really going to bite him in the butt as he moves forward closer to that halftime mark. You know, down around onto KSU. They've got the economy advantage. You can see St. Clair, you know, willing to take that pistol round. And they kind of don't really have a whole lot of options here. You know, trying to generate some money, trying to generate some economy. Stefano does have quite a bit of money in the bank. He is going to hold on to that, wait for his team to get a little bit caught up, you know, spend together, go out with your friends, have some good time. You know, you want to make sure everybody has cash on them when they're willing to go out as a squad. You don't ever want to be that one guy spending all your money in one place by yourself. Going to take things a little bit more slowly here in this round. St. Clair really needs to find themselves around one here, do their best to even out the score, even pull themselves a lead. They can come out of halftime with at least even a 1-round advantage. You know, you're putting yourself in a good place going on to this side flip.
Oh no, they got very naded. Abyss able to find one there on an answer, but the rest of the squad just gonna mow them down. Very quick round there. St. Clair Saints, they will fall, but they do at least get a pick. That is something that is beneficial. You got to look at the bright side of things here if you are St. Clair. And now they do get another buy. You're going to see Moz with the op this time around, and then 4M4. So overall, very good buy from St. Clair, but they do want to find this round if they do want to win this half, right? They cannot let Kansas State JV really get out of hand here going into half. If you're St. Clair, you want at least 7 rounds on half, and answer, finding Moz like that is not a great start for St. Clair.
So unfortunate for St. Clair. Every time they seem to pick up these expensive weapons, go for those ops, go for those AKs, you know, they're getting picked off super early in the round. They're performing with like B tier weapons, but failing to perform with those S tiers. You know, not usually what you'd expect when you see these situations, but I mean, we kind of breezed by the fact that KSU won that last round in 15 seconds. Like, that was ridiculous. It's such good use. It was just crazy. I mean, I know they had this advantage, but it's like, that is just an absolutely murderous streak there. Now Tyler finding himself to 2K. That's going to be a great start to this round here for St. Clair. Evening out the score. 3-3 is going to fall, however. Now Buttermilk barely hanging on. It's a 2v3 scenario, but one man on KSU is just hanging on by a thread here. You can find this angle. Maybe you can get something going. Tyler is going to be sneaking around that flank, looking for a way in. He's got sights on Twigs. He's going to get the jump, and that's going to be the 1v1 going Tyler's way. Now a 2v2 situation. Pretty decent odds for St. Clair. They can get these shots, find these angles, get that turnaround kill. You know that that plant is coming down, and the bomb is going to get planted onto A site. Now the 1v1 situation, Tyler versus Buttermilk. Who can get the jump? And Tyler with the angle. That should be the defuse, and St. Clair going to take the round win on round number 13 here, tying it up, or getting close to tying it up, rather, 6-7 here as we go to round 14.
Yeah, great stuff there from St. Clair. Tyler with the 3K really coming out here and slaying out now, and that is exactly what you like to see. You're going to see yet another timeout, so I'm not exactly sure because Kansas State JV has called 4 timeouts in a row now. So, I mean, maybe they just want a little bit more time to talk things over in between rounds, but this is their last timeout of the half, so you will see this all used, and we're only about 1 round away from closing things out. But overall, I mean, yes, 2 more rounds left. St. Clair, I mean, they at least need to find one of these next 2 rounds. They do not want to allow Kansas State JV to take this to a 9-6 half. But if you look at things, Kansas State JV, they have enough money to buy out for the rest of the half. So overall, money isn't really a concern for them anymore. It's more or less St. Clair. It's a little shaky now that Abyss has an MP9 rather than, you know, a rifle. But I don't think they are too worried because they do have an AK and 3 M4s as well.
Abyss perform on some of these lower tier weapons as well. You know, it doesn't really seem to be that the artillery affects him so much as his positioning. You know, as long as he doesn't get caught out super early in the round, he is usually able to win out on these gunfights. So you can kind of rely on your mechanical ability. Moz demonstrating some of his as well to lead off the round with the 1K. Now leading into the 2K. He's got sights on a 3rd. Will he go for it? He's going to fight back into the smoke.
He shouldn't.
Showing a lot of discipline. Yeah, you know, this is me just like being a noob and just wanting to see wanting to see blood. I don't know what to say. It's just so exciting to see these 2Ks, these 3Ks. Moz having an incredible performance so far to lead off this round. Hopefully we'll get to see a little bit
The
more
flank.
but he is going to be a little bit more patient. Yeah, that flank angle coming in from the side. Abyss, and I believe it was Stefano moving together as Tyler finds the 2K, and Moz is going to clean that up as well. Beautiful run from St. Clair, a 5-for-0. And, you're talking about St. Clair really needing to find a solid win. And, what better way to do it than this? 5-for-0, clean up for St. Clair, tying out the round here now as 1 round out from halftime.
Yeah, so very, very good. Now, who is going to win this half? We have 7-7 half. St. Clair, the one thing that does concern me a little bit is that they were on good side, right? So they're going to have to head into the second half on the bad side of things, which could be a little concerning, but great start to this second half. Maw is going to find one there, but one thing that is a little concerning as well, Tyler already down to 52 HP and Maw's down to 7 HP. That is one thing that's a little worrisome. They could really just be tapped by feathers and they will fall, but you will see Unicorn and Abyss really make this B push slow down. And St. Clair, they have a fairly good setup right now. They're probably pretty happy to have a 5v4 advantage in this game so far. Now, let's see what Kansas State JV does. And, if Moz and Tyler can continue to find kills, even if they are so weak. We actually just need 3 players stacked on B as well.
KSU is employing a really, interesting artillery strategy there. That's not the best fight you want to take if you're St. Clair, down now to a 3-man advantage with Moz barely hanging on here. But they're really making a lot of use out of this artillery. KSU happy to dump their money and spend as much as they can, really commit everything on this last round. All those Molotovs really holding St. Clair, zoning them off the point, going to buy them quite a bit of time here. Now Unicorn love, trying to make that push to the point, but they've already been zoned off so long. They want to get themselves established, but it's been so hard to actually approach the point. They're getting picked off left, right, and center. It's going to be Moz trying to make his way to the point here through the smoke, seeing if he can find the jump onto Ballin. I think he knows where he is. They have intel. Tyler is going to throw out another piece of artillery, kind of zone things off a little bit as Moz looks for the flank. So really working together here. You can see and feel how tense this round is as St. Clair slowly approaching the point together, covering each other's angles. Moz on the back. They don't have sights on him, but they do have sights on Tyler. He's going to get the shot there on to answer. Now, in the 1v2, he has eyes on Bomb as well, but he knows that he's going to go down in this 1v2 situation. He's going to drop, and KSU is going to take the half.
Yeah, but very even half overall, right? I mean, like, St. Clair, you got to keep your head up. Like, you are definitely in this one, and you are definitely fighting for it. So this is a very, very close half so far, and the closest it can really get. St. Clair, they are really looking to bounce back here on the T side. And one thing I will say, with them being on the disadvantaged side, is a pistol round really is kind of like a must, I feel, for St. Clair right now. They cannot allow Kansas State JV to get a few early rounds here on the CT side of things. If you're St. Clair, you really want to get an early pistol round. And I think I know what strat's coming. This may or may not be the Skelly strat. They put so much pressure onto A, make them all think they're going A, and they wrap B. And that's exactly the strat we see. And you see Tyler and Moz just mow them down in their tracks. I have played Pugs with these guys tons of times, and I see this strat over and over and over. T-side pistol round, you run A, make a bunch of noise, fake it out, go B, and it worked out perfectly. They're in a 5v2 now, and they have the bomb down. Great stuff from St. Clair.
So impressive to watch how unique these strategies are. Unfortunately for St. Clair, it looked really solid and should still be the round win, but Dragons is going to find 2 kills for himself, nearly picking up a third onto Moz. Moz is going to try to get the jump on him with this gunfight, just going back and forth. Now Dragons and Moz both dropping very low here. That plant is going to come down, and if you're St. Clair, you don't want to get greedy for this last kill. However, Moz really wants to show up, and that's going to be the 1v1 kill for Moz. May not be the most disciplined play to make, but it's definitely something you like to see on cast for sure. Very.
He was in a position where, I mean, it's pistol rounds. He has nothing really to lose. So at that point, he's like, I might as well just continue to go for this kill. I still have 2 other people that are there ready to back me up. So you will see Kansas State JV. They are going to save. They aren't really opting to force here. So you will see them using their pistols going against MAC-10s and Galil's. Answer, he does have a deagle though, so that could be a little concerning for the St. Clair squad. But overall, they should not be too worried whatsoever. Moz can find early one there. Trades goes down. But overall, I mean, that does go in favor of St. Clair. Now a 4v3. 4v2 now. 4v1. And 4v0. Now St. Clair, we're going to take that one. 10-8 lead here now. Or sorry, 9-8. I don't know what I'm on about. But 9-8 for St. Clair. Looking solid. And that's exactly what I was talking about. They need that pistol round to at least get a little bit of a head start on them with them being on the T side of things.
So funny. I love the way you counted it down like that. I mean, that's really how it feels when you're in these. You have these huge artillery advantages. You're playing like semi-autos into pistols. It's absolutely brutal how quickly you drop in those 1v1s, especially when you're fighting through smoke. You have so much more pressure. You have those stronger weapons, and KSU finally managing to get a couple weapons under their belt. They are going to get some decent success with that, evening out the score now to 3-on-3 here as Tyler trying to make his way closer to the point. I did want to ask, I'm a little curious, this strategy here. We keep seeing teams, they may be making a push for B, but the plant 9 times out of 10 is coming down on A site. Can you explain the significance of that A site plant on this map?
Well, to be completely honest, it's not always the case. It kind of just feels like that was where Kansas State JV was a little bit more comfortable, was hanging around that A site where the plant goes down, whatever. But getting banana control, that alley that comes through B, is very important to stop the flank, even if you are hitting A. So you always want control of that alley, no matter what is going down. Tyler, very nice kill there to even up the numbers now at 2v2, and the plant goes down for St. Clair. So then they defend this site. So yeah, it's not always this case. It's more or less what teams are comfortable with and how they're feeling. So overall, I mean, yeah, right now it happens to be going A quite a bit. Abyss actually is going to get tagged down quite weak. I'm quite worried for him just sitting behind this box, playing his life at this point in time. As soon as he peeks, he could be dead, and that actually is going to be a kill, though. Now leaves everything up to Buttermilk in the 1v2. Can Abyss and Tyler stop him? He still has plenty of time. Bombs planted, and Abyss goes absolutely huge, and that is the round win for St. Clair, 10-8, and that is really going to put Kansas State JV in a position where they cannot buy any longer.
Beautiful performance from St. Clair. I love the way that Tyler, you were mentioning how Abyss was stuck in a corner, not really in the best angle, best position to be in. So you have Tyler coming in and protecting you, knowing that Balin is right there. He's got eyes on Abyss and coming in for that flank, really setting up your team. It's just a beautiful demonstration of teamwork from St. Clair. They've really come into their own with this game here. Now that quick molly from KSU is going to zone Moz off the point, and it is going to be Buttermilk finding the first kill onto Moz to start off the round here. Now, as Tyler's going to make a push closer into the point here, try to get himself set up on that flank. You can see Twigs now holding onto that A site, trying to contain that corridor, but it's going to be a little bit of a bloodbath as he steps up. Unfortunately, him and Stefano both just trading back and forth. No kills to drop. Yeah, it's just a little bit of action there in the corridor as now Unicorn making his way onto this A side, trying to scope out some vision, fighting through these smokes. I really like to see from St. Clair some coordinated pushes. Whenever they work together and push together, they tend to get a lot more value out of these plays, but they're playing quite split right now, really just trying to gather intel as individuals here. Not really sure how this strategy is going to work out for them, as KSU has a really tight hold over A site right now.
Yeah, but they're allowing St. Clair to get a ton of map controls. That'll be Twigs who falls. Now even things up to a 4v4. And St. Clair does have the buy advantage, right? So they do have the weaponry advantage. However, that's going to be Unicorn left who falls. And Stefano, I don't agree with his play there whatsoever. He should not have just challenged out there, not really like trying to go for that trade when there's going to be someone else hanging around that A site. So overall, I mean, I don't know exactly what the mindset was there, but that's actually going to give Ballin and Dragons both AKs, which makes things a hell of a lot more concerning for the side of St. Clair. So all up to Abyss and Tyler. We saw them do it last time around. Can they do it again? It'll be really interesting to see what can go down. Abyss opens things up nicely with an AWP, and that's 2 for Abyss. Abyss is feeding right now. Last player over here around this church position. Abyss, he is getting ready for him. Abyss will get spotted and cleaned up. Now everything left onto Tyler. Tyler in great position. 2v3 from the St. Clair Saints. They clean up the site and they get the round. 11-8. St. Clair has looked phenomenal on this T side, currently winning 4 in a row.
We talk about the CT advantage, but it's really hard to spot out that advantage when you managing to successfully plant, 75% of these rounds so far. If you can get that plant off, all of a sudden you kind of flip the tempo, and all of a sudden CT is on that disadvantage, really trying to not only force the defuse, but also get control over the map and really just scope out those positions and get those kills that they need in order to defend. And it's really difficult to do when St. Clair, as you mentioned, they have basically full map control. They're able to find these plants whenever they need it. Moz with the peak over the top is going to find the first kill of the round. Unfortunately, he is going to do a little bit of friendly fire onto Tyler, and that is going to result in 2 kills going the way of Buttermilk. Buttermilk is going to be happy to pick up that 2K to lead things off in this round. Now, St. Clair at a 3 to 4 man disadvantage. There are eyes here on, I believe that's Dragons over the wall, as Unicorn trying to make his way closer to the point. Going to just regroup back to Stefano, play the team game, go use the buddy system as they approach this A site here. Now, you can see Abyss on the side with the AWP, keeping his distance, trying to get a little bit of vision onto B as the rest of his team pushes towards A and split the map a little bit, really try to psych out KSU, bait them with these audio cues.
Yeah, good stuff here from the Saints, especially being in a 3v4. They do just want to find one more pick at least to even up the numbers. They don't have a whole lot of time left, 40 seconds remain on the clock. You're going to see them really start to dedicate towards the site here shortly. And honestly, I think it's going to be B, as you see Abyss started to come up through here, but he cannot be entry fragging with the op. So he's going to need some help if they do want to actually hit this B site. And it looks like it is going to be Abyss and Stefano going through Banana, and you will see Unicorn Love trying to make some noise over A to keep these players over here. And that's going to result in him baiting at least 3 players over here. So you know what? It's going to be a 2v1 on this B site. It looks pretty good for the side of, Abyss and Stefano for them breaking through this site. I really am interested to see how things go. Unicorn Love, he's going to be in a great position to watch the cross. There is a player right there. I'm quite worried. New box, he cleans up both of them. They did not clear out the site at all before planting that bomb. Not good stuff there from St. Clair.
Yeah, unfortunate from St. Clair. It looked like they had a decent strategy employed, but the patience coming up from KSU to hold that B site, keep that one man in that tight corner there and really just hold that site, single-handedly defending that push from St. Clair. They really didn't give themselves a lot of time left on that point. I think they were waiting for the most opportune time, and unfortunately, it didn't give them a lot of time to respond to that defender. There was a lot of anxiety to get that bomb planted down. You have to give yourself a little bit of time to make sure that you can actually appropriately contest these points. No, Moz dropping very low. He is going to fall as well, as Abyss is the second to fall. Tyler barely surviving that fight, but he is going to be able to find the pick off onto Buttermilk. We got the 3 versus 4 now in this situation. As St. Clair on the pistol round, getting these kills when you're down on this weapon disadvantage, it's always nice to see. But, it's kind of bittersweet because you're playing at such a disadvantage. You basically got forced to take the L in the round. And St. Clair, they're only going to be able to find that pick off onto Buttermilk before KSU finds the counter kill now, climbing very, very close to 11 to 10 now. Really evened out the score here as KSU managed to find their tempo and regain some control over this game.
Yeah, for sure. So 11 to 10 here now. And, St. Clair, they really need to find this round. They cannot allow KSU to really, tie up the game and then force St. Clair on a pistol round and really result in KSU taking a lead early in this game. Well, not early, but like coming down to the wire, they're taking a lead late in this game. And overall, St. Clair, they really, really do need to find this round. And it's going to be almost maybe one of the most crucial rounds of this game right here for them to win this one, rebuild that 12 to 10 advantage that they like and get a little bit of a cushion built for themselves. But, the thing that's difficult now is that KSU has a full buys, and that's going to be Moz going down early to an aggressive answer with his off. And overall, Stefano, he's going to be traded out shortly after. Now that's a 5v3 nice and early for KSU, and St. Clair, they don't have a whole lot to answer for things.
What do you think about this 4 spot from St. Clair? You're mentioning how pivotal it is for them to win this round. So
very good buy. Very smart there for them to buy. They have the money to do so. They should not be saving again. But overall, it's just important that they win on the buy. And it doesn't look like that is going in their favor right now. So overall, St. Clair, they just aren't in a great position. You're going to need to see a lot from Abyss and Tyler. And I think you're going to see a save, to be completely honest.
That's kind of the risk, right? With those force buys is, you put yourself in a situation where you have to spend, you need to win the round. And if it doesn't work, you put yourself even farther behind. So maybe doing whatever you can to preserve that weapon advantage. Like you said, Tyler and Abyss, maybe holding onto those weapons, not really going for anything too aggressive, finding whatever picks they can, but, not willing to necessarily make that push. Abyss is currently holding onto the bomb. He's sitting right near the spawn. Might not even consider going for that B side. He is, however, slowly making his way there, but I believe that is just going to be the round for St. Clair as they time things out. So coming off this round, then what's the strategy for St. Clair?
They have 2 AKs, so I'm only gonna assume that they get some Moz, Unicorn, and Stefano get some Deagles, or maybe not even. I don't know. This is just rough. They are not in a great position. They could light by around these 2 AKs. You're really just going to mainly need to see a lot from Abyss and Tyler. A big one.
Yeah, rely on your
yes, they're going to buy pistols to go around them a little bit, but nothing that crazy. Now, what can St. Clair do to develop on this round? This is a very big round still for them. They don't, Abyss and Tyler, they don't get money because they save. So what will they be able to do here now?
Yeah, gotta take things a little bit slowly, very patient, play the angles, fight through those smokes if you have the advantage. But obviously, like we mentioned before, pistol gunfight through a smoke when you're at a weapon disadvantage is not the situation you want to be in. So St. Clair going to be very patient around this smoke here, grouped up as 5 as they approach this A site. They are going to start to find these flank angles though, as I believe Moz and Tyler are going to push up that right corridor together, trying to find, maybe split the map a little bit and see if they can force a fight on this A side together. Have that, bring that buddy system so you have that refrag capability if one of your members does get taken out earlier on in the round. But for KSU, I mean, the strategy is pretty clear. Just find that angle, hold it, get nice and comfy, and that's exactly what Dragons is going to do to start off this fight. Picking up a 2-man kill. Stefano is going to get the refrag, but Twigs winning out the 1v1 against him to close that out. Tyler is going to find the pickup onto him, so it's a 2 versus 3. And like you said, Tyler and Abyss are going to have to come through in this round. They're the only 2 remaining with the AK still. Tyler going to get the jump, and Abyss finds the 1v1 on to KSU answer as well. Now the 1 versus 1. That's Abyss winning the 1v1 on to Ball and P, and that's exactly what you need if you're St. Clair. That's going to swing them right back into this game. Now 12-11 for St. Clair, round 24. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a neck-and-neck brawl.
That was probably St. Clair's biggest round of the game. That was like a half eco buy. They did excellent there. That's going to result in them able to buy 5 AKs now this time around. Very, very good from them. And if they can win this round, it's really going to force KSU on their backs. And look at that. Answer, he doesn't able to connect on that shot onto Mexico, and he's going to get tagged for 26. So great start from St. Clair, at least getting some intel, knowing that, hey, they do still have an op up and they do still have an op around. St. Clair getting a good amount of banana control nice and early in this one. I really like St. Clair and how they're doing this one right now. Big round there from Tyler and Abyss, getting those AK kills. They played that 2v3 absolutely perfectly, and it will result in them, getting a 12-11 lead here. Now, this round is also going to be very, very important. I don't like that they didn't get this full line of sight smoked off, and it could really result in Ballin getting a feed here.
Yeah, a little bit dangerous for St. Clair. As you mentioned, that smoke doesn't quite connect, so there is still that vision for Ballin, but they are aware of this. They're going to play that corner very slowly. Unicorn is going to catch him out, and that's going to force Ballin off the point. He doesn't want to stand in that corner, knowing that he's in that 1 versus 2 situation. However, St. Clair making the wise choice to disengage from B side. That is going to mean Twigs is going to find Tyler on the disengage. Ballin as well, winning out on the 1v1 on Stefano. So it's just going to be Abyss and Unicorn left. They have the bomb available on A. They're going to try to get this quick plant. Unfortunately, Abyss going to get popped off on the side, and Unicorn's going to be the next to drop, and that means KSU is going to walk away with this round win. 4 members remaining. What a great turnaround for KSU, coming off of St. Clair, an absolutely huge round for them, and KSU, going to definitively stop that approach, that attack onto B side.
Yeah, for sure. That was very, very important for the side of St. Clair to, try to find that round there, and they were not able to. So 12-12 going to result in the MAC 10 buying here. Not too sure if I'm supportive of this MAC 10 force buy. However, it will work out nice and early. They go 2-for-2 trades, but they are very weak. They do have full control of B site. They do get that smoke off, so they should be able to get a good plant. That Molly going to be quite worrisome, taking Abyss down. That nade could take out Tyler maybe or something. No, they do manage to get the bomb down, but they are so weak. That's the biggest concern right now here for St. Clair.
Absolutely. However, we are aware of the fact that once that bomb comes down, you have a little bit of a positional advantage because you know that the enemy has to come to you. That being said, Abyss, about 50% HP in the 1 versus 2 scenario. He's got to watch out for 2 angles. Members on either side of him. You can already see if you're looking at that mini map, you've got Ball and P with the front approach, and now that is going to be the defuse coming up for Ball and P. Abyss just isn't able to find that second kill through that smoke, and KSU successfully pull off the defense there from CT side.
Yeah, and you know what? One thing I will say is you got to give props to Abyss, Tyler, and Moz right now. They're playing excellent CSGO. You just want to see Stefano and Unicorn Love step it up a little bit, right? You can't give them too much hard time, though, because, they have been getting switched off starting and bench, wherever it may be, right? But overall, I mean, the other 3, they're playing their jobs absolutely perfectly, and they're doing a great job so far throughout this one. Answer with an early kill on there to Moz. Now a 5v4. Very, very crucial that St. Clair at least finds, 2 out of these next 3 rounds.
It's really unfortunate, for St. Clair. You mentioned that 2 of these players, they're not necessarily main roster players. They've had, a little bit of less practice time, a little less time on the field, so that synergy isn't quite there the same way it might be for KSU. Obviously, we don't have that information to know subs or positions or what have you for that JP team. But, we're talking about playing perfect game, but I'm looking at Moz and he's getting picked off first in just about 60% of these rounds. I mean, you're getting a lot of intel for your team, but as one of your top fraggers, being the first to drop is definitely not the situation you want to be in. You know, maybe pass that position off to one of your subs and get in there and do some damage. But unfortunately, St. Clair just not able to find that approach in these rounds. Now Abyss getting very close to ball and P. That is going to be the 1v1. He's going to find the headshot there to take down that kill. Tyler finding the 1v1 as well onto Dragons off to the side. And now St. Clair has the time to get this plant onto A side. They fully collapse. They have full positional control. You can see Abyss holding that refrag angle. He's right around the corner. As soon as the bodies start to drop, he's ready to jump and ready to pounce. And now KSU get completely zoned off by that Molotov. That's going to prevent them from touching the point. You can see Twig take the long route.
Oh, they're saving. They're saving.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to go for something cheeky, and then I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, KSU going to take the round L here as St. Clair going to even out the score 13-13 going to round 27.
Yeah, so I mean, this is very, very close, very, very crucial for each team, you know? Like, there's this playoffs on the line, right? Like, this is so important, and you know, they will save so they can buy for Dragon and Ballin, because they don't really have a whole lot of money to buy. So you will see the other three buying for Ballin and Dragon, so they do actually have weapons, and they do still get a full buyout. So you will see, what, 4 M4s in the op, I'm fairly certain. Unless Buttermilk gets something a little less. Yeah, so 4 M4s in the op, some util still. So overall, I mean, if St. Clair wins this round, that'll put them up 14-13. And then Kansas State will really have very, very little money to buy moving forward. So if you're St. Clair here, if you win this round, you are in excellent, excellent positioning. But Answer, he's going to open things up nicely onto Tyler. Makes things an early 5v4. And makes things a little bit worrisome for St. Clair. However, Moz looking for a little bit of an answer back, and he will not be able to find that. Stefano, he's going to be the main line of defense now here in Banana. What can he do, and can he translate on that? He's going to throw some util out, will not connect, so not the best stuff there from him, and now full Banana control is given up, and it looks like they are going to be trying to hit this A site.
For St. Clair, I mean, once Moz drops there, it's really funny watching Stefano just kind of grabbing everything out of his bag and just whipping it over the wall, trying to do whatever he can. But unfortunately, when that artillery doesn't connect, you lose a ton of value. Not going to have access to that as you approach this A site now for the rest of the round. That's the flashbang is going to come out onto Answer, but he's going to be able to duck and roll out of that, no problem. And now St. Clair in a 3 versus 5 situation, and they're basically shoehorned into contesting A site. You can see there already Stefano with the bomb hugging around that corner there. He's right up next to Dragons. Dragons is going to have to jump on him. As soon as he rounds this corner here, he can get that vision onto Dragons. He has the vision on Abyss, and that's going to be the first to drop. Unicorn hugging the bottom corner of that wall, but Dragons has perfect positioning here. He's going to find the 2K. Should be able to find the third onto Unicorn, and Dragons coming up huge for KSU. The 3K to round out the round for Kansas. That's exactly what you need if you're KSU to get closer and closer to that victory. 14-13 now in this game.
Yeah, very, very close matchup here. You will see the pistol buy come out, so they aren't really banking on winning this round. They do just want to find a few picks or do whatever they can. I mean, it would be nice if they could win it, but overall, you know, like I was saying, just find some picks, do whatever they can. Moz, he will fall to that op early and Answer. And overall, I mean, now 4v5. If St. Clair can just get like 2-3 kills, I think that's what they're really aiming for. And Abyss, he's going to attack from a nade as well, right nice and early. But yeah, so 15-13 game if St. Clair does fall this round. And they're really going to look to find the next 2 rounds, send this to overtime, and then win it there. So overall, I mean, St. Clair, not in bad positioning. And that's actually going to give Unicorn Love an M4. Tyler going to find with the CZ as well. So this is a 4v3 now for St. Clair. Not bad positioning because Tyler has an AK as well. And I mean, Answer, he is coming up here in apps with this bomb, though, and he could definitely find a Stefano, which he does. Now they know this player is opping up here in here, and that's smoked off. That is great smoke. I can almost assume that that was coming through. Nade goes out. That's going to hit Unicorn Love down real weak, but can they get this plant down, and can they just hold down the site? It's going to be really interesting to see. Abyss goes huge there with that deagle kill, and he gets himself an M4. Last 2 players, both hanging around this alley. Tyler, he's going to have to go huge. What can he go down?
It's just so terrifying for KSU. They want to accelerate this tempo. They want to keep this round going, but Abyss is just going to shut that down, finding a 2K now. Answer is just going to head for the hills, barely hanging on. The plant has already come down, and now Answer just going to go for the save. So St. Clair actually finding the win on the pistol round. That's massive.
That's massive.
That's huge. That's huge.
That's huge.
You know, you're talking like, oh, you know, it's a good situation for St. Clair. That's not bad, but no, this is crazy, man. Winning that round on pistol, tying it up 14-14. They're going to be able to swing the economy in their favor now, and it's just a 2-round difference. Whoever wins these next two takes the game, qualifies for playoffs. Everything is on the line for St. Clair now.
Yeah, if somebody wins the next two, they win the game. If it goes 1-1 split, we're seeing an overtime. And if it, that's just the bottom line. And I'm really excited to see how things get going. And, Kansas State JVs, they don't have a whole lot of money, and their buy isn't great this time around. So I'd honestly have to put the favorite in the hands of St. Clair.
No, I was doing that anyways, Jackson. We're told backstage from production we're not supposed to be biased on these casts, but of course you want to see your boys, you want to see your friends pop off, get some dubs, win these rounds for themselves. So St. Clair now, 5-on-5 situation. They have decent buys. Unicorn is going to drop very low to Answer. Answer has been performing quite well in this off. I could be biased. I could say I want St. Clair to win, but I'm still going to give some props to Answer for an incredible performance so far this game, especially with that off. He's always able to find some value out of this weapon buy. And, that's an absolutely massive way to start off the round. Finding a pick on to Moz and dropping Unicorn very low is going to put you at a huge advantage as you come to contest these rounds. St. Clair completely grouped around A as Unicorn, that bomb carry, is going to step closer and closer to the point. They're going to make a push fairly soon. They've got about a minute left to do it. Looking for that pick on the side.
Overall, 5v4 here now. Stefano will get tagged down a little bit. Tyler going to find one, but that's going to be Dragon and Ball. And also there, Tyler going to get a second. Will he be able to find a third? Yes, he does. Tyler, a lifesaver right now for the St. Clair Saints. All up to him and Stefano. Bomb is going down. All up to Answer and Buttermilk. This is very similar to the 2v2 we saw last time around. What can they do? Going to be so interested here. Tyler heads into dark corner a little bit here. Can he translate on this? He's going to fall off right behind this box. This is a fairly good setup. I mean, Tyler, he's in good position here, but his head is going to get spotted, and he knows he has to duck now. That's actually Stefano falls. Tyler going to get traded out shortly after, and that is actually going to be Buttermilk. Only 6 HP, and he does win that round. Kansas State JV going to get put on the match point. This is a must-win round for St. Clair if they want to keep themselves alive.
Dang, that was crazy. That was so absolutely close. I was actually just counting seconds in my head. I was trying to see how much time that bomb had before it detonated, but KSU did manage to pull the defuse, and that's going to be absolutely massive for KSU, finding a win in what seemed to be an unwinnable round. It is match point, ladies and gentlemen. It is playoff match point for St. Clair and KSU. This is the round that makes or breaks everything.
Answer!
4-5.
Answer fell to the molly from Unicorn. That was a great molly. That's going to result in an early 5v4 for St. Clair. Yes, the trades go down, but Unicorn love there for a trade as well. 3v3. Oh my god, is this ever intense?
They're going to push up closer to that A side. Got the 3-man flank. Moz going to find the 1v1 onto Twigs. That's absolutely huge. Now, maybe they can force the overtime if they can find this pick on to Buttermilk with actually Dragon. Going to win out on the 1v1. Tyler coming in with the refrag. And now the 2 versus 1 situation. Tyler versus Moz. Currently, the bomb is sitting right near St. Clair spawns. They're going to go back and pick that up and try to find this plant now as Moz and Tyler both buddy system there.
And look at this player. He's not even. Buttermilk is over an A now. And these players are gone.
I mean, this is if you're Buttermilk, you are just like shaking in your boots.
You're
right
lost.
now. You have no idea where they're going.
You're lost.
It's so terrifying. St. Clair is going to be able to find the plant onto B here as they approach this point. Just going to scope it out real quick. Hold that angle. Moz is currently holding the bomb now. He's going to get the plant down now. Just a few seconds now, and there's the plant. It's going to be Buttermilk in the 1 versus 2 situation. Has to not only find the 2K, but also find the defuse. Tyler going to get tagged down a little bit to start off this fight. Moz holding that flank angle. He knows which way Buttermilk is. He knows he doesn't have a lot of time to contest this point. He's just going to hold that doorway and wait for that approach. Now, Buttermilk going to just charge right through the smoke there, get around the corner, but Tyler going to scope him out. That's 15-15. We are going into overtime.
Wow. What a matchup. I really was not anticipating seeing an overtime here. Here we go, folks. We are going to overtime for a playoff spot. This is absolutely thrilling. Very out of the ordinary. This is the most exciting CSGO that you guys are going to be able to catch all season long. So you guys are in the perfect spot. Sit tight, grab a bag of popcorn, get a cold drink, and sit tight. We have playoffs coming to you live right now.
Man, I just love how much you advocate for our viewers to eat junk food, every single cast.
Hey, cold drink could be water, man.
Hey, true. Get yourself some of that vitamin water, that acai berry. St. Clair, starting things off all right with that 1-to-1 trade. Unicorn going to drop a little bit low, but so is Buttermilk. So both teams on fairly even footing here. St. Clair, I believe they're fully slotted with AKs now, so they've got a decent advantage in this fight. But Tyler actually going to lose out on the 1v1 to Twigs. It's pretty uncharacteristic from him, what we've seen so far in the situation. That smoke going to come down directly onto Abyss. He's going to get tagged down a little bit, going to have to retreat here now in a 1v2. Don't think he knows where the enemy is, so he's just going to take it safe, play it slow, tight things back a little bit, try to get himself repositioned. St. Clair moving closer and closer to this A site.
Yeah, so St. Clair, I mean, you still got to be a little bit worrisome. They do have a 3v2 on the site. That is the good news. And Abyss, with an early kill, makes things a 3v1 on the site, 3v3 overall. You will see these B players start to rotate over soon, though. But Abyss, he's in great position to maybe try to find another, and he does so. That is now a 3v2. And look at, they might actually be heading this to B, which they are. So now, all up to Ballin and Dragons. But Ballin, he's the first line of defense here. Now his Dragons, he's kind of just way back in A, not even kind of a clue on what's going on. And there's an early kill from Abyss. Abyss with a 3K in the first OT round. Great stuff from St. Clair, and they are playing amazing.
Not just the 3K, but they're going to get the plant onto B as well. And Dragons, it's an overtime situation, but you're in a 1 versus 3, having to deal with a defuse as well. Probably just going to save here, do whatever he can to preserve that weapon and that financial advantage going into the next round. Because St. Clair, this is a beautiful spot to be in. You can get that next round win. Take this tempo. You're sitting on a ton of cash. Look at the bank accounts on the side of St. Clair, 6,000. Nearly average on everybody on this squad. That's going to be a huge buy round for them next round, and next round could be absolutely beautiful for St. Clair if they can carry this tempo forward.
Yeah, so overall, Dragons going to be the last player alive, just trying to save his weapon, whatever it is. And overall, Dragons, he's not going to get spotted. He's going to keep his life. So overall, 16-15 now for St. Clair. And they are in beautiful positioning here now, moving forward. Winning a T-sided round is so big because you know what? CT is the favored side, right? So if St. Clair can find that early T round like they did, and even just one more, that's going to put them in a beautiful position going into the next half, going into the CT side of overtime. And St. Clair, I mean, I'm just really happy with how they are playing right now, looking very, very organized. Moz finding an early pick there on the Twigs. Yes, Abyss does fall, but overall, I mean, they can develop, and oh my god, KCU getting so aggressive right here, right now.
This deep is completely different to the strategy we've typically seen them approach. You can tell they're getting a little nervous about the situation that they're in. Going to hold a very aggressive defense now. A 4v2 situation for St. Clair. They are going to find a huge number of kills on the side of Dragons and Buttermilk. That's going to be absolutely massive. So Stefano now left in the 1 versus 2 situation. I was just about to say that looked really good for St. Clair. And then the absolute pop-off for the side of Dragons.
Yeah, now, all up to the substitute Stefano. What will he be able to do with this one? Dragons, he's been having such a great game so far. Will he continue in this 1v1? Stefano gonna have to go huge here. I mean, he does have the health advantage on both of these players, which is one thing that he does have going for him. And, he is coming around the behind of this player. He still has 45 seconds. So, Stefano, he is in fairly decent positioning. You see him slowly walking this, wrapping into B. He has plenty of time. And he technically really does have a free B plant here. The only issue is Buttermilk and Dragon, they will be pinching him afterwards. One player coming from Banana, one player coming from CT. Could be quite concerning for Stefano, but overall, I mean, that full health is really one thing that you guys want to really pay attention to right now. It could really make or break his gunfights, and so it looks like he is going to have full free roam to get this bomb planted, and you got to assume that these other players are going to know this sooner than later, that he is not hitting that A site. He's just checking out, making sure this whole site's clear. Bomb being planted. Now, let the games begin here, Zeddy. We are going to see Stefano. Can he pull off the 1v2 against the pinch? Smokes out. He is going to defend that banana side with a little bit of a smoke there. And now, Stefano going to have to deal with these players. One from CT, one from Banana. What will he be able to do? He's sitting in church right now just looking for Dragons. Dragons is weak, so he has a pretty good shot of winning that gunfight. Searching for something in here. Stefano in good positioning, but Dragon will get the best of him, and KCU will win the round. KSU, sorry, will win the round. Sends us 16-16 as we head to the last round of this first half of overtime.
Unfortunately for St. Clair, it came down to a clutch situation, and you're running your substitute. You could see there was a little bit of that nervousness, a little shaky in that gunfight, even though he got first sight, first rotation. The gun aim was just a little bit off, and unfortunately that means Stefano is going to lose out on the 1v2. So St. Clair going into this last round of overtime halftime before that side switch, they've had an incredible performance on the T side. Their CT was pretty good, but you were finding KSU winning out on a lot of these offensive approaches. So I'm a little nervous for St. Clair going into halftime. If they don't come off with a win with this round, that could spell absolute devastation for them going on to the side switch.
Yeah, but one thing that is very beneficial is that Moz does get an early opening pick there, and Twigs, he only has a shotgun, not a very strong weapon compared to these rifles. So overall, St. Clair, they have a weaponry advantage, they have a life advantage, they have a health advantage. Everything is in their favor right now besides the side that they're on. So overall, very, very excited to see if St. Clair can translate this into a round win here. It looks like they are going to be breaking through this A site, and they realistically are in a 4v2 over here. Twigs going to get an early one with the shotgun, though. Will they be able to trade him out? That's the question. Answer, going to find one here way up on the boost. He's looking for another one in balcony, but Tyler going to get the best of him. Cleans him up. Abyss finds one in the process. Now a 3v2, and the last players are on B and rotating over. So Unicorn Love, will he be able to make it there, and will he be able to plant this bomb in time as Buttermilk and Ballin make their way over? Ballin, oh my god, Buttermilk gonna be weak, and Ballin tag, oh my gosh, all up to 2 HP, and Tyler will be there to clean up both of them. St. Clair Saints take the first half 17-16. This puts them in beautiful positioning moving forward into this next half.
Just an incredible performance from St. Clair so far. This game is just back and forth constantly. You can see how much these teams want to take this victory. You look at games during the regular season, and it's like you can kind of see teams, give up a little bit, get a little defeated if they start to fall behind. But there is just fire in the eyes of every single player on this field right now. Everybody wants to take that trophy, get out of here, and make it onto playoffs. Get that victory before, getting closer and closer to the season, because that's where the real combat begins. So St. Clair, they've got a lot of game left to play here. They've got to make every single round count. You're coming off with a victory, but you really need to keep that pressure on yourself and make sure you're playing your A game. You can't get picked off early. You can't get spotted out too quickly. Now, Answer, going to employ an interesting strategy here on offense. It's going to make a little bit of noise through that smoke, try to bait over the members of St. Clair, but so far, nobody's taking the bait. Everybody on St. Clair just happy to hold their positions. Got decent control over the map here. You can see KSU pushing up through Banana. Now, that's Buttermilk going to lead the charge there as they're trying to get closer and closer to that B side. He's going to get spotted out, however.
I like where Unicorn Love is sitting right now on the boost, right? With his AUG, he's in very good positioning, even if the smoke does come through on that B point. And it looks like Kansas does want to hit B. They have a lot of pressure up there. They have a lot of control, and really just a little bit more control over that B site so far than they do A. And I feel like it's really going to result in them wanting to hit this B point. And you do see number 4. That is Moz. He's getting ready. He knows that. He is ready to rotate over to B nice and quick. And overall, yes, here we go. We should see the B push come out any second now. Here it is, KSU. What will they be able to do here? Abyss looking for an early pick. He finds one. Will he be able to find more? Very short.
Gonna take it a little bit slowly, but he is going to find the 2K for himself as Buttermilk does get the refrag. Unicorn's going to get picked off through the smoke. Not able to do much with that space that he has there. Moss with the flank angle. That's going to be 1 kill going down. Now a 3 versus 2 situation. That's going to be another pick going off to Tyler as Stefano gets taken down by Dragons. It's a Tyler.
I know where Dragons is now, though. They mollied him off. Great molly. That's one thing that's Stefano. Yes, he does fall there, but look at the intel he got in the process. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You're talking about intel as we're watching Dragons just play the game like crazy well. What a beautiful 1 versus 2 situation. Tyler was already super low. It wasn't surprising that he fell as well, but being able to find the pick onto Tyler and then also get the jump onto Moz, St. Clair just needed to be a half second quicker, really find that jump, and now it's again down. We could be going into a second overtime situation here.
Yeah, they're really banking on this round win. Look at the money that St. Clair has left in their account, right? Like, if they don't win this one, they are really kind of screwed for this last round. So St. Clair, I mean, if they win this round, lose the next one, they are looking to go to double overtime. But if they don't win this one, they don't have a whole lot of money to try to force another overtime. So quite worrisome there for St. Clair now.
Take things slow, be patient. That's exactly how you want to start things off. Moz finding the 1v1 onto Answer. He's going to get refragged by Twigs. Down to the
so 4v4 here now. Oh no, he has a lot of players coming up here. If he peeks, he could find something. No, these players, just a little bit of bad timing there from him, but overall, you're going to see Unicorn Love get some tags there onto the enemy team, but nothing too dramatic. Will he be able to find this player?
Really good patience from Unicorn. He's going to get a little bit of damage that actually is going to be Ball and P falling. I believe he did manage to connect the headshot there. So now a 4 versus 3 situation for St. Clair. The beautiful pick off to lead off that round. And now a similar situation for Stefano, trying to find that shot onto Twigs. He knows he's up in the house there, up in the window, but he's going to have to play it very slowly. Trying to get the shot in, but he's just not able to connect with the body there. And there he's going to drop. Twigs is going to find the 1v1 onto Stefano, but Tyler getting the refrag. Now onto Buttermilk. Unicorn finding the pickup onto Twigs, but he's going to drop as well to Dragons. And it's Abyss and Tyler versus Dragons.
Tyler's in great spot.
Anybody in the clutch situation, you'd want it to be these two. And now St. Clair, the plant is going to come down onto A side rather. But that's going to be the kill.
Great stuff there from St. Clair, you know, that's going to give them the 18th round. So even if they go into this next one and they lose it, they are still guaranteeing themselves a second overtime. So St. Clair, this is their beautiful chance to try to win the game, right? They win this round, they win it all. They lose this one, we're going to a double overtime. It's at least a little bit of a win-win situation for St. Clair, right? Like worst case, they do go to another overtime, they keep playing. Exactly. But overall, for St. Clair, like they don't have as good of a bye as KSU. However, they do have the side advantage, and they do still have 4 rifles. So, I mean, overall, St. Clair, especially with that util damage from Unicorn Love, he just went huge there, taking Buttermilk down so much HP.
Absolutely important, although you do want to remember these headshots, your health disadvantage doesn't really matter if you're able to connect that headshot and take out that early pick. So St. Clair have to be very careful with how they approach this. It's a huge lead to get all that damage onto Buttermilk, but now it just comes down to finding out on these kills. Kansas State, they are playing incredibly scared right now. You can't afford to make mistakes in this situation. Being on the T side, needing to make that push. Currently, no one holding the bomb right now. Bomb still sitting by spawn. They are looking for that initial pick before they go for this plant. They're just going to go for a little bit of a fake out here. Try to see whatever they can do on this A side. Currently, 3-man approaching this point into 2 defenders. There is a bit of a numbers advantage here for Kansas if they decide to approach this A site.
Yeah, very, very close round. At Kansas, they have got to be shaking in their boots a little bit here, Zeddy. Like, it is all down to the line. Their whole season has come to this round. Like, it does not get more intensive than this. And Abyss, I mean, he's in great position here. Tyler, though, he's going to fall nice and early. That's a 5v4 advantage for KSU. Nice and early. Maz going to find one. Will he be able to find another? No, he doesn't. That's going to be Unicorn who falls as well. 2v4 up to Stefano and Abyss. Abyss going to get mowed down. Stefano, last player alive, 1v4. It looks like we're going to be seeing a double OT here, Zeddy.
Oh my gosh, this game is just getting crazier and crazier. The plant is going to come down onto A side as Answer gets the bomb ready to go. Now Stefano has to be a hero if he wants to win this out. 1 versus 4 now. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. We're going to get that refresh on overtime, so you've got to try to make the clip, make the moment.
Wow.
And just as I say that, the headshot comes from around the corner. Ball and P, we're going to double OT. 18-18 now for these teams. Just a back and forth battle. Like, I don't know if we're ever going to get out of here, Jackson. I'm being honest. Might take you up on that offer. Go grab that cold drink and get settled.
Yeah, man. No time for washroom breaks or anything. We are just getting right back into things. So here we go. OT number 2, first round, St. Clair. They were going to be starting on the CT side of things this time around. Now, let's see if they can translate that into a few round wins here nice and early on this half. We have been live for 1 hour and 10 minutes already. This game is going the distance, folks. I'm really excited to see if it will continue to go on. Maz gets aggressive early, does not pay off, but he does get Answer quite weak.
Unfortunate though, again, like Maz going in for these aggressive plays, he's doing his damage. It's not like you can say they're completely useless, these approaches. You're obviously getting a lot of valuable information out of it, but being the first to drop nearly every single round has got to get a little bit infuriating at some point. Now for St. Clair, Unicorn Love going to toss out some artillery, trying to do a little bit of damage, but it's not going to connect, just barely going to zone. It is actually going to get taken up by the headshot from Buttermilk across the long yard. Now St. Clair on this CT side, currently in a 3 versus 5 situation. Make that 3 versus 4, make it 3v3. Stefano popping off with the 2K. Now Abyss has the angle here. Is he going to get the jump? That's the 1v1 going on to Dragons. Nearly gets the 2K onto Twigs. It's going to be Tyler and Stefano left in the 2v2. Both these players roughly on even health. That is going to be Answer dropping. Now Tyler and Stefano versus Twigs here. Twigs has the bomb. He's going to get the plant onto A, but he is going to get sandwiched now as both these players flanking him from 2 different angles. They're going to have to push in together, make it a coordinated attack. If they miss space, if they miss time this could be the clutch play for Twigs.
Yeah. But they get intel. Twigs is even more weak. Gives Tyler good advantage of the gunfight. And that was a 3v5 win. Stefano turned the tides on this round. And honestly, the substitute being Stefano, he put in so much work and really, I'm going to say, almost won St. Clair that round.
I think that's fair to say. We could be hard on subs and all these players for having these disadvantages coming into this game, but when someone pops off, you got to give him credit. And Stefano absolutely coming in clutch for St. Clair. They're going to find 2 kills for himself and a couple assists as well to round out that round. It's exactly what you need from your bottom fragging players on these overtime rounds. You really need everybody to step up and play their A game, and Stefano absolutely coming in through for St. Clair. Now, KSU going in for a very heavy attack onto A side. That is going to be the jump onto Moz. And again, Moz is going to be the first to fall in this round.
Yeah, so 5v4 here. Now Stefano gets cleaned up shortly after as Kansas have full control over this A site already. And it's going to be all up to Tyler to try to do something up here in apps and cause a little bit of a disrupt in these plans. But he has so much work to do, and he's going to get mowed down immediately from Dragons. If you're a Unicorn and Abyss here, I would be saving personally, so I don't know why they were getting so aggressive there. They really could have saved, and Unicorn could have kept the op. Like, that's the big thing. Like, I don't know why he was pushing there. He only has $1,600 now.
I don't know how I feel about St. Clair putting your op on one of your bottom fragging players.
But I think he picked it up. Right.
I mean, it just seemed odd. It just doesn't seem like the strategy they've been playing so far. They've been pretty solid with the way that they want to approach these points. They're holding decent angle, holding decent lines. Everyone kind of knows their role and is playing it quite well. But putting the op there in that situation, definitely not what you want to see. Hopefully could have held on to that, as you mentioned. Maybe gone for a save, but I guess St. Clair getting a little bit impatient now. It's a long game. They're getting tired. I can't blame them. Tyler is going to drop, however, on that point there as KSU gets full control over A side immediately. The plant's going to come down very early in this round. Fallon MP is going to find the 2K now for St. Clair. It's going to be a 4 versus 3 situation. As Abyss is able to find the pick onto Answer. Moz getting the pick up onto Ballin P. Now a 3 versus 2 as Moz gets the 2K now onto Twigs. Abyss is going to drop. And KSU is going to come up absolutely clutch there as Dragons and Buttermilk close out the round. Now 20-19 for KSU.
Yeah, if St. Clair wants to win on this half here, they have to win all 3. They want to force a third overtime, they have to win 2 out of 3. Overall, they have to win at least 2 out of 3 if they want to keep themselves alive in this one. Where KSU, that puts themselves in great position. Where KSU's like, all right, guys, we win 2 of these. We are going to be winning this matchup. Let's go. Let's do it right here, right now. What will go down? I'm so excited to see if St. Clair can battle back on the T side of things with what they're doing here. But Twigs going to get shut down nice and early from Tyler, but that's going to be Answer. Cleans up Tyler. Answer going to find Moz as well. Answer going absolutely huge for KSU. Gives him a 4v3 player advantage. Now leaves everything up to Unicorn, Stefano, and Abyss. Abyss going to be the veteran of the 3, trying to see whatever he can do with this hawk, but he is not finding a whole lot right here, right now.
Not a whole lot you can do when you've lost so much ground, so much position, trying to get these angles and try to find that good high ground angle that you can get these picks from, but you just don't have that luxury when you're this far behind in the round. You're really coming from behind here. Now, Unicorn going to make his way around the corner. I don't think he knows that member of KSU is just standing right there. He finally got him spotted out, and that's going to be the headshot coming up from Unicorn. That's going to round things out, but Buttermilk does get the kill onto Abyss. It's now the 2 subs against the world, Stefano and Unicorn, going to try to take this 2 versus 3 as they both approach this A site. One member of KSU currently sitting on Banana. That's going to be a 2v2 now on A as Stefano tries to round this corner here. Unicorn getting a little bit aggressive. Going to back off a little bit. I think he knows, he's making a lot of noise. Doesn't want to get spotted out as he approaches this point. 30 seconds left now for St. Clair to make this point. They're going to run up through Banana, try to get this B point.
And Buttermilk going to be there to mow them down in their tracks. KSU 21-18. KSU's at match point. St. Clair has to win the next 2 rounds if they want to force another overtime. Going to be crunch time for St. Clair. Can they do it? Find out here shortly with what they do. They have 5 AKs, they have the money, they have the buy. Can they translate this into a round win? Gonna be so difficult. Tyler having the game of his career right now, almost at 40. great stuff from him, but Ballin and Answer open things up nicely. Abyss finding one. It's a 1v4 all up to Tyler. He's had a great game, but he has so much work ahead of him, and it looks like KSU is going to be heading to playoffs.
That's just so rough. Like, you don't want to speak too soon, but a 1 versus 4 attacking on match point in double OT.
Yeah.
It's just such a horrible situation to be in. Tyler, he is so nervous right now. He is actually going to find the 1v1 onto Answer, but he's dropped incredibly low, getting tagged out immediately now on 50% HP. Has to take the 1 versus 3. KSU players making a lot of noise, trying to scare him off this point. That smoke still live, I believe.
I think they're just taunting, really, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you know, you already have such an advantage here, and that's going to be the flank coming up from Ballin P to close out the game. St. Clair going to lose in double OT. Tyler left to his own devices, 1 versus 4. Just such an unfortunate situation. And that does mean that St. Clair is going to get knocked out of the playoff, out of the series. That's going to be the end of the season for St. Clair, as Kansas State is going to progress on to playoffs. What a
Great
tragic
game,
end.
though. Great game, though.
It's a great game, but
You gotta throw that one out there. Like, it was a phenomenal game. They played it great.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Like, I almost wasn't anticipating St. Clair to look that good without having Chance in the lineup. They almost, I'm going to say this personally right now, I think they look better without Chance in that lineup right now. I personally do think they look like more of a team, right? Like, less solo plays. My camera may be freezing a little bit here, but less solo plays. And more of a team organized play, refrags, the util, pushing together, just working as a whole unit rather than one by one by one.
Absolutely.
And I really think that is one of the big difference with this starting 5 rather than having Chance in the lineup. And they haven't really tried without Chance before. So now you see this as a result, and they did not have high hopes for this game. Like, I'm going to personally say, St. Clair, they did not really weren't crazy confident going into this one. 2 of their wins were from forfeit wins, right? And, you know, so on and so forth. They had a lower buckle score. You know, KSU, they shouldn't have even sent this to overtime. It should have been a regulation game over for KSU. And for St. Clair to even do that, you got to keep your head up. You got to be happy about that. St. Clair did an excellent job. They're great games from Abyss and Tyler and even Moz. Like, yes, he did get picked off right away early, but he most of the time would find an early pick, or he would either get a ton of intel. You know, maybe change a little things there for Moz, maybe make it a little slower, but not too much of a disruption. And Tyler, great game. Like, probably the best game of Tyler's career. I just got to say, hands down.
I feel like we said it about Tyler every game. It's always the greatest game of his career.
He's got to be the most improved player on the roster.
I'm not arguing with you. I just think it's funny.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying, St. Clair, yes, you did lose that game, and yes, you are not heading to playoffs. To be at least happy with how that one went.
That, for sure. And, you know, it's always good to leave these games with your head held high. Unfortunately, it is a little too late, you know, kind of discovering, finding that niche, finding that, you know, maybe that ideal roster setup or that ideal strategy. You know, not going to be able to mean too much this season, but hopefully they can carry on some of that going into the next season. Definitely, you know, I mean, you can attribute some of this to a little bit of player discomfort. You know, running 2 subs, we did see, you know, those individual performances were lacking a little bit, just, you know, being a little less practiced than perhaps his fellow teammates. So a couple gunfights, you know, could have gone St. Clair's way, but maybe with a little bit more patience, a little bit more control, expertise, all of that, you know, it definitely could. There is a world where St. Clair walks away with this playoff win. Unfortunately, that world isn't this one, and that means St. Clair is going to be, you know, fighting an uphill battle going into next season, just taking things a little bit slower and taking this time to regroup as they go into next season.
I really just think that all St. Clair needs to do now is get more practice with those other 2.
Yeah.
You know, like, yes, they might have lacked a little bit as their personal performances, whatever it may be, but with time, that can improve drastically, especially if, you know, the lack of practice this week before due to reading week, due to all these complications, you know, the roster changes, whatever it may be, right? There is definitely a world where they can come out with this playoff win. Maybe, and I personally think next season you will see things really look a little bit better for the St. Clair roster, and you just got to be kind of really happy with how things are going.
100%. And, you know, like, my comment's not to say that, you know, there's an issue with running subs. It's more just, you know, I wish they had more practice. You know, I wish that they had more opportunities to play with the team. And like you said, you know, things are going to look a lot different. You know, hopefully going into next season, you'll have subs that are a little bit more practiced, a little bit more polished, so that when they come onto the battlefield, when they're ready for that game time, you know, everything looks good, everything looks clean, and all those individual performances are up as well. You know, these things are all really important to the success of a game. However, no point in dwelling on the past. It's only, moving forward, moving ahead for the St. Clair Saints, and lots coming down the pipeline, as we move into next year as well. But before we round out tonight's broadcast, let's take a quick look at the schedule for upcoming matches real quick. On Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we are going to have Overwatch in the Play versus League. And on Tuesday at 5 p.m., some Rocket League and NECC, followed by on 8 p.m., some CCL Call of Duty action. Going into Wednesday at 8 p.m., some Fortnite in Play versus, and then Thursday, 8 p.m., Rocket League again in the Play versus League. So lots of Play versus action, lots of Rocket League action. For those of you Rocket League fans, make sure you check out our games this week. There's going to be plenty of action coming up as well. I'm personally excited this weekend. We've got some Teamo Cup for the League of Legends team. Maybe we'll get that on broadcast. We have to sort some of those details out, but it would be great to see, some of the guys on stream as well. So if you're missing out, craving some of that league action as well, stay tuned. We'll see if any of that happens.
I know that me and you will be on the mic quite a bit over this next week with all these games, all the Play versus, whatever it may be. Me and Zeddy should become familiar faces to you guys, as we will be on this channel quite a bit. And overall, before we head out of here, I want to give a quick shout out to you guys, the viewers. Would not be possible without you guys. We love having you guys coming in here, supporting us, cheering for the Saints, cheering for KSU, whatever side you're on. We'd like to have you guys in the chat, supporting the stream, and we thank you guys so much for tuning in here. And one other thing we'd like to point out is thank you so much to our sponsors. We would not be able to put on this kind of production without them. So quick shout out to the St. Clair College Alumni Association, PC Outlet, the Zekelman School of Business and Information Technology, St. Clair College, Tim Hortons, and the St. Clair SRC. Thank you guys so much for supporting St. Clair. And also, if you guys, the fans, are interested in getting some St. Clair apparel that looks just like this jacket I got on, we got shirts, we got jerseys, we got sweaters, we got jackets, we got masks, we got everything. So if you guys are looking to get some merch, make sure you head over to Acquire, get some St. Clair merch, rep the school, rep the teams. We appreciate it, and it looks amazing, feels so comfy. So make sure to try to get some of that if you please. Overall, one more time, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for following us in this FACEIT CSGO Contender League. And thank you guys so much once again for tuning in. My name is Jackson Deprived Brown, Jackson Brown or Deprived, and I am joined alongside Shaddy, Zeddy, Hannah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you later.